Hey everyone, this is Nevin Kay with the Resist Trump campaign podcast. This is Rise and the Resist, the official campaign of, excuse me, the official podcast of the Resist Trump campaign. Our credo is that we are a nonprofit that coaches activists to lead lawful, nonviolent civil resistance to Trump and his enablers. I am so pleased to have this opportunity to be joined by my co-host Francesca, who's on the call today. Francesca, I'm going to kick it over to you to maybe say a few words about who you are and whatever else is on your mind.
Yeah, I'm a volunteer with the Resist Trump campaign, and obviously, I am a citizen of the United States who is deeply concerned about everything that's happening and wanting to learn more, get involved, and be part of the resistance to what I think is a terrible, cancerous rot that has been taken over our political system, and doing my due diligence as a citizen to make sure that I am not only paying attention, but that I am doing everything I can, no matter how small, to make sure that we don't let this go further and that we get it out and make sure that we are getting back to a more healthy democracy where we can all thrive, everyone who is here together. I'll just add that I'm also getting certified in nonviolent communication. So, to everyone who may be interested in that, definitely check it out. If there's ever a time to get more involved in movements that are based in empathy, it is now. And yeah, I'm happy to be here and to be learning more and talking with Drew and understanding everything that's going on.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Francesca, for joining us today as a guest, which is a great reason why folks in the audience may want to consider opportunities to volunteer with the campaign, because platforms like this are what what we're trying to use to get the message out that it's time to resist Trump. We are usually in the habit of doing a quick rundown of the news of the world. We are actually currently sitting with our guests. So maybe we could do the news of the world, Francesca, with our guests at whatever point in time we decide is appropriate. So today's interview is going to be a little bit different, guys, than past episodes. So be ready for something new. So I'm going to briefly share that we may be talking about some emotional graphic stuff. Our next guest on this podcast is named Drew. Drew is the chair of Minnesota 5051. If you haven't heard of 5051, where the fuck are you? And if you have, good for you. Um, that's all I have to say. But I want to pass it over to Drew to maybe share a little bit about himself and whatever else he wants to share on the course of this podcast.
Yeah, I'm Drew, and like you said, thank you for the introduction. I'm the chair of Minnesota 5051, which got started about 1 year ago now in direct response to the second Trump inauguration. So similar to you, we're dedicated to nonviolence. We're a grassroots organization that is just here to, as opposed to the national 5051 in Minnesota, we focus very much on Minnesota and our elected representatives here, pushing them to do better, to represent us, and right now, pushing them to stand up to ICE and help us resist ICE, because what is happening here, you all probably heard of it and seen it already, but it is absolutely abhorrent. And honestly, in person, it's worse than the media is able to capture.
Hey, Drew, we're going to be able to edit out whatever we want from this podcast as long as it's like reasonable. Your video is not as clear as it was yesterday. Do you have any idea what we should do?
I can cut it. I mean, I can just turn off the video, if that would help. Otherwise, I can try to find a place with. I can literally just go park where I was parked yesterday and see if maybe the satellite likes
That
that
might
area
be
a little
better
better.
for everyone. Yeah, that might be better if you want to do that.
But it's very
We can
close,
just do the
so
podcast like live while you're doing that,
perfect. One,
if
oh,
you're okay with that.
definitely. I dropped my mic somewhere. Give me a sec.
Okay. Oh
Yeah, go ahead and
man.
do it live. Sorry, sorry, everyone.
Okay, no, you're fine. Um, what's the weather like, Drew?
Not very good. It is cold
Okay.
again. 15 degrees, my car is saying, because I am doing this from my
Woo.
car, as you probably could gather. Um, I got the heat running, but yeah, it could
Nice.
be worse, right? Like we're used to it. It happens every winter. You get these weeks and months where it's just pretty terrible. How do I sound right
Yeah.
now with the microphone I was using dropped somewhere on my car floor?
No, you actually sound really good. So your
Really?
microphone's working great. Yeah.
All right. Well, I won't even find where it is then once I park here. I'm seeing my 5G go up. Oh boy, oh boy.
Nice.
Let's hope it actually sticks.
I kind of like that you're in your car. It feels like real, like on the ground journalism, like you're a
Right.
reporter in a war torn area.
I'm
And you
on the
kind of are.
go.
So,
A little bit.
yeah.
All right. Now it's got like a weird shadow, so
There
I
he
had to turn
is.
around, but better? No.
Not really. I mean,
Man,
maybe we go. No, that was you looked so clear yesterday.
I'm sorry. I wonder if it's because we're recording. I mean, you would know, right? You've done this a bunch, so maybe not.
I don't
Um,
know, so I
yeah.
don't know.
When you started, it said quality is higher than recording will show, but I don't know if that's something we can rely on.
I mean, we can literally cut everything that just happened and just start the conversation from where you left off. Before we like had the little diversion about the video, like because you introduced yourself and that was fine audio wise. But maybe we just turn your video off and then I sort of make some stupid signals or whatever, and then we just record from that point on forward. What do you think?
That works. That works for me. All right, ready? Video off.
Okay. 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 Cool. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, sorry, am I introducing myself again? All right, all right, from the top.
Sure.
I'm all over the place. All right, so yeah, so we're just gonna start with me introducing myself.
Yes.
All right, thank you. I'm so sorry.
Yes, please.
Oh,
It's
all
okay.
right, all right. Fuck. Yeah. Mm-mm. My name is Drew. I work with the nonprofit Minnesota 5051. Thank you for the introduction. Yeah, again, I'm the chair. We're a grassroots nonprofit dedicated to resisting Trump and building a better Minnesota. And similar to Resist Trump, we follow nonviolence as a principle, and we really try to live that principle in all of our actions and all of our tactics. Um, as opposed to the national 5051, we are more so focused on our own affairs here in Minnesota, pushing our politicians to represent us better, and also trying to get to the root of the issues that led to Trump getting elected again in the first place, right? We understand that we're not coming from a perfect utopia. We're coming from a flawed system where people were reacting to the establishment failing them. So we're also trying to address those issues so once Trump is gone, we don't just get a second one.
Cool. Frankie, you want to respond to that? It looks like your recording's working. It just gave me a little signal that never mind.
Yes, I got a spam call. No, that sounds amazing. And I think it's also really amazing. I have to comment on this on how all of the organizers had to go from 0 to 60 in such a short period of time. I'm really amazed at all of everything that's been accomplished, and just the amount of community that has come out. I mean, I've only known it from the videos, but I imagine it's just palpable in the streets. Is that true, Drew? Can you just like feel everyone coming together?
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's not that we were lacking cohesiveness as a city. I would say for the years I've lived here, the Twin Cities have always had a pretty strong sense of community, but it definitely feels like COVID changed things. And I think other people in other areas feel the same way, that sort of pushed everyone apart and made everyone okay with not being as friendly with their neighbors. But it's incredible going to a massive rally with tens or hundreds of thousands of people, and everyone has each other's backs. You know, if anyone has any issues, someone is going to be there to help them. Someone is going to be there to talk to you about what's going on. And we're making these connections, and this is what's going to get us past this era at the end of the day. We have people to lean on.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. And I did have a question that kind of leads into this. I was just wondering, like, we see all the videos from outside, and you can see the protests, and you can see the people coming together, the organization of it all. But I'm just so curious as to, I mean, I know that you're in the center of it, of like when you are just doing your daily activities, if you're just going to the grocery store to get dinner for that night, is the atmosphere, is it like palpable that you can feel that something is happening around you at all times? Is like, how does their daily routine feel to you even outside of these activities?
Oh yeah, I mean the whole city has a different aura, a different vibe. Maybe not the city, maybe it's outside of the city, across the whole state, and maybe it's in other cities in the country. I'm not too sure, but yeah, everywhere you go, everyone knows that we're going through this together. You'll be having a meeting with someone who's, like for your day job, for example, and people will end the meeting by saying, stay safe or stay brave or, good luck out there. Um, we all know this is something that we're going through together. And, they're coming in, they're really trying hard to divide us. They're trying to provoke us into, an excuse basically to invoke the Insurrection Act, but it's not working because we all have each other to lean on. But yeah, and going about the daily chores, it is a little bit of, it's nice because the community's there, and it's also a little depressing at times because your head is on a swivel. You're always looking
Mhm.
for an ICE vehicle. You're looking for a neighbor being abducted. You like the people who saw Alex Preddy get murdered didn't know they were about to see someone get murdered. They were walking their dog, or they were
Jesus.
going to the grocery store or getting donuts, right? And then and then ICE came and shot him in the street. Um, so it is that sense of community, but it's a little sense of fear and apprehension, right? That like stuff is happening that is not good.
Yeah, that's so. I just have to highlight what you just said because that is, you don't really think about this, but you're right. Like, there is someone who's just living their everyday life, and then they watch a murder in the streets, and they don't, like, there's no preparing for that. And I think, especially as Americans, we've been so isolated from a lot of the tragedies of war because it's always happened on other shores, and our everyday life has felt so safe in a lot of ways depending on where you are and everything, but still, as a general rule, we don't see so much violence from our state actor in the streets. And just to know that, like, you're living your everyday life, and you might see just an abduction, a murder, I mean, absolute crazy crimes coming from the government.
Yeah, I think that's like something. I think there's a disconnect, right, with people who don't live here, and specifically people who are like you two know, right, and you two get it and understand that people are living through that. But like, there's people who are still trying to stick their heads in the sand and act like nothing's happening. So just when you talk to those people, just remind them, like, what if you were ignoring it and you were going to the grocery store and someone got shot right in front of you? What if someone got shot right in front of your kid? Just reminding people constantly that like this is people's home. People live here, and these are things that are happening in American streets, which when we were raised to not expect this in our country and in our cities. And obviously it's been happening at the hands of local law enforcement for some time, especially targeting non-white people. Um, but now it's at a monumental scale, and it's being perpetuated by the federal government, not by any local entity that we have any control over.
Fuck the feds. That's
Fuck
all
the
I have to say.
feds. Yeah.
Never fuck the feds. Ever.
Yeah.
That'll get them to change, right? Just stop
But
fucking
fuck
them.
the feds. Fuck
Yeah,
them, dude.
I think we're here because a lot of them did not get fucked, and that was a problem in high school and
exactly.
turned into this. So
People don't like me,
We're
so
not
I'm
going to
gonna
talk about
kill them.
incels today. We're not talking about incels. That's not happening.
It's hard to talk about ice without incels. Can't spell incel without ice, you know?
yeah, yeah,
I
absolutely.
just heard I just heard a T-shirt idea. I don't know. I don't know,
Yeah.
Drew. Maybe
New
that's
brand
a
idea.
promo. Maybe that's a brand, opportunity for 5051. Unless
If
we
any of
take
you
it first.
listening, if any of you listening do this, we get 40% of the proceeds right off the bat. I'm calling it.
Deal. Any other ideas?
Oh, that's all I got. No, I'm not the brand guy.
Okay.
Don't make me think of things,
Send
please.
us the brand guide next.
You can be our new brand guy.
Yeah, I am
Um,
50-51, just not
we need it.
Minnesota, my friend.
Yeah. Join, just come on up. We could use the help.
I've been waiting for literally been waiting to hear those words.
Yeah. Here's your call. I got a couch if you're comfortable with it. We'll
I
find a
mean,
place for you.
I'm not really comfortable with that. I prefer a bed. Thank
Okay,
you
that's
for
fair. That's
asking.
fair. I'll take the couch. Yeah.
Or the floor. For
Yeah,
me, for me,
exactly.
for me, for me, for me. Oh, Drew, it's so good talking to you, man. I'm really feeling the good vibes. For someone who's like in the middle of a war zone. How does that? What is that like? Keeping
Oh
up
my
a good
God.
attitude despite
Seriously?
the
So
chaos.
yeah, I've had friends reach out who, live here and don't live here, but maybe a little less involved. They're still going to things. It's impossible to ignore it, right? If you live here right now in the cities. But some of them are like, what do you need? How can we support? And I'm just like, please hang out with me. And then we don't talk about this stuff for like 2 hours because
Mm.
it is every thought. And I'm not alone. It's my friends too who aren't even as involved in this stuff. We all just need a little bit of distraction every once in a while, which I know sounds so privileged to be like, I can just shut this out of my brain for a couple hours. But this is a marathon. We could have 3 more years of this for all we know.
Oh yeah,
Despite them killing 2 people, they have no intention of leaving, it seems like.
they're not even
They're digging in
listening.
their heels.
Yeah, they're not
No.
even. They didn't even listen to like this outcry over two civilian casualties. What else do they
Nope.
have up their sleeve? Like this wasn't enough
And
for you guys?
what do you guys think happens when it happens again? Because if they're not changing anything, it's going to happen again. Do you think what happens then?
Yeah, and I really want to touch upon that because, obviously in the news, they put this big act on that they were going to bring in other people, and that Trump changed his tone for like, what was that, like 48 hours maybe? He
Hmm.
was like semi backing off. And I think they tried to make it sound like they were doing something about what was occurring on the ground in Minneapolis. And a lot of news organizations, because we can talk about this another time, our news organizations are doing poorly, but a lot of news organizations ran with that. And you're not seeing as much reporting right now about how things haven't changed at all. I would love for you to speak about that, Drew, about like since Alex Peretti, since Trump got in there and said, his version of backing down a little. Have you seen any difference? What is it like for you?
No, we see no difference in how they're treating observers or in the amount of like activity in general. They rhetorically tried to back down once I think Republicans in Congress started jumping ship, but they're right back at it again. And again, we never saw any tangible change on the ground here. Um, I,
So
I
Drew,
also just, yeah,
I've got a question for you when you have a minute. We're trying to separate but related, if I could use that.
yeah, absolutely.
So, we want to have a criteria for candidates who we want to endorse on the campaign. Do you
Mhm.
have any ideas, Drew?
Yeah. Okay. So again, we're mostly focused on Minnesota. We're not really looking at nationwide races, but we have our official policies on the Minnesota 5051 website, and that's pretty much the rubric we grade candidates off of. So
Okay.
in the state of Minnesota, we've endorsed, people in every House district or every congressional district, and we've endorsed Penny Flanagan for Senate, and just people we're looking for fighters. I think a lot of us in the left have felt abandoned um, by some of the Democratic establishment, frankly. Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, if you have anybody like Penny, Drew, that you could, tell about, send the podcast episode to,
Mhm.
let them know that we're open to talking on the podcast.
Perfect. Oh my God, I totally will. Sorry, I think I might have said Peggy Flanagan is our lieutenant governor and yeah, running for Senate. Sorry for misspeaking there.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, totally. And Elon Omar actually reached out to us the other day and was like, "Hey, I heard you guys are doing endorsements." And for us, that was a huge because seeing Elon Omar at that town hall where she got sprayed with a mysterious substance and said, "I'm going to keep talking. Like I'm not going to give them what they want." That is like what people don't understand is we need our leaders to be doing that because it's such a morale boost. We have people out there risking their lives every day, and we know they're risking their lives, right? Just to record ICE and just to blow their whistles. And so when our elected officials are willing to stand up and, take a risk like that in the name of what's right, like, oh my God, that gives us so much like energy.
Yeah, and especially her. I mean, can you imagine the amount of dehumanizing language that she's had to withstand since, the beginning of Trump's entire time in office? It's just absolutely appalling. And it's amazing how much grace she has in some of those interviews, those terrible gotcha interviews from like Fox and all of the other random, right wing things. But I love her composure, and this time especially.
Yeah, they're calling her garbage. Like the president's calling her garbage and saying she should get deported and all this stuff. Like, I can't imagine how unsafe she feels, especially because they've shown they're not above arresting public figures.
Hmm.
Especially people of color. Let's talk about the arrests that the FBI made in the Twin Cities. The first two people arrested by the FBI were women of color, and
Hmm.
that's not a coincidence at all.
No,
Didn't they?
not at all.
Didn't they like use AI to change the picture of one of the protesters, like a
Yep,
black woman?
Nikema
Yeah.
Armstrong, like great, like hugely prominent local activist who's just like, if you live in the Twin Cities, you'll know her name. Yeah, they photoshopped a picture to make it look like she was crying. Like what a little baby move that is.
Yeah,
Fucking
and so gross. Like how much do you want to get enjoyment out of other people suffering? Like, and that's
Mhm.
clearly where that's coming from. And it's like, what? Like, I can't even imagine the state that you're in where you are giving the people what they want, and what they want is for a black woman to be crying as you arrest her for standing up for other humans. Like,
Mhm. For
This
protesting,
is
yeah,
America
arrested.
in America, guys, in 2026. Thank you, Trump and your minions, for all of what we're going to be doing lawfully and nonviolently.
Yeah,
yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're good. Drew, did you want to say anything on any announcements or calls to action for your group today?
yeah. I would say check out our website, check out our link tree. And I'm not saying that so you donate to us. I'm saying that because we have a compilation of mutual aid resources on there. Organizations that we vetted and trust that people can donate to, and they will get the aid where it needs to go. We need a lot of help right now, especially because. And again, just to touch on this really quick, we're gearing up for a general strike. We want a general strike to happen. We want them to listen to us and withhold our labor. And when that happens, we're going to get a lot of people who need food and who need rent assistance. And also, if you're in the state, push the governor to do a moratorium on evictions. So that way it will give people a little more leeway in protesting.
And when you guys are done with all that and you want somewhere to volunteer during your work stoppage,
Mhm.
resisttrump.us. We're looking for volunteers.
Yeah.
Just saying. We
Woohoo.
got a few roles.
We love resist Trump.
We love Minnesota at Resist
Yeah.
Trump.
Okay, Minnesota feels the love. It is actually incredible seeing a Bruce Springsteen song got written about us or nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. And it's funny because me and a lot of other people come here. I'm not from Minnesota originally. I'm from Illinois, and come here and it's like, ooh, Minnesota. It's like quiet, a little under the radar. And since I've moved here, it's been like national and international news. Too many times. So
Yeah, just know that Drew, here at the Resist Trump campaign, with Frankie as my guest co-host today, and here as the host of the podcast, I swear to you, our allegiance to whatever it is you guys want to achieve lawfully, and you know the rest.
I
Mhm.
appreciate that. And there's a lot we can achieve lawfully, right? We just got to keep talking to politicians, keep showing up in the streets, and keep showing them that we have people behind us, and these people vote.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, guys, this has been a really great conversation. I want to also extend a very special thanks to our volunteer, Francesca, who has joined us for this call. Thank you so much, Francesca, for hosting today. And guys, if you want to visit us at resisttrump.us, you can find more information on the kinds of stuff that we do. Again, we coach activists to lead lawful, nonviolent civil resistance to Trump and his enablers. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.